What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg. Trying times. I hope more than anything you guys are being safe, being careful, and taking care of yourself and your families. This too shall pass. It is a nutty time. I don't think any of us saw this when the new year was starting. I really did not anticipate this. But what I'm talking to you guys about today is how much you guys can get from this bill that was recently passed. If you haven't heard yet, there's a massive mega $2 trillion bill passed. It's got some incredible benefits for us as gig economy workers, so I wanted to talk about that and really just give you the nitty-gritty details on how much money you're going to make from this. So before we get going, I actually wanted to talk to you guys about Instacart. Instacart is booming right now. One of the rare things that is. They're seeing a massive increase in demand for delivery drivers, grocery drivers. I have personally never done a grocery delivery service, but I did drive Postmates for a while, and every now and then I would get a pickup where I would just do grocery, and I would go to a local grocery store, and it usually wasn't a huge order, but it'd be like 5 to 10 items that I would just go. I'm terrible at grocery shopping, so I was literally just going up to every employee and being like, hey, where's mayonnaise? Hey, where's this? Where's that? I can never find anything. So I made it real simple and was just like, I'm just going to ask them. All in all, it really wasn't that bad. Like, the grocery deliveries were honestly usually my favorites because they were generally going to homes. The thing I always hated about like Uber Eats and Postmates in general was the hunting for apartment complexes when I'm going to deliver the food always drove me insane. I have bad vision at night though, so I feel like usually I just couldn't see building numbers. Maybe it was just me. But all in all, it's really not a terrible gig. And the main thing is right now, guys, is like driving for Uber and Lyft, you're literally going to make $3-4 an hour. That's what I'm hearing is like the average from everyone I talk to. No one's making more money right now. No one's taking rides. I have both the driver app and the rider app on my phone, and I've been checking the rider app periodically. There's definitely less drivers out, but like it still just looks really condensed with people that you can tell just aren't getting rides, So I really think that if you need quick money, Instacart's the way to go. We've seen in certain states they're offering up to $1,700 sign-on bonuses. That's crazy. Granted, that's probably not going to be everywhere. That's probably your like biggest markets, but I would expect to see $300 to $800 sign-up bonuses everywhere you go. So I'm leaving the Rideshare Hub. Our special sign-up code is going to be in the description, so you guys could get started on doing deliveries if you wanted, and that could be the thing that very well gets you through the next few weeks is delivery. So I want you guys to seriously look into that, or at least consider it. I know it's not ideal. It's way more of a hassle than driving for Uber and Lyft. I agree. But I think right now you just got to do what you got to do, So, but let's talk about some other good news about the massive stimulus bill that was passed. So flat out, the main question everyone wants to know is how much money are we going to get? So what I've been seeing is that if you can show that you were driving since after January or something like that, maybe it's just after the new year, but if you can show that you stopped driving because of the current problems and things that were coming up and being like, hey, this is when I stopped driving. I did because I was literally worried about what was going on. Now I can't work anymore, blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to get, from what we're hearing, $600 a week, which is unreal because that's not bad money for an Uber and Lyft driver. I doubt many of you even made more than that. There's always the person who says they make $1,000 a week. They also work 80 hours a week. I used to love that. The Uber and Lyft drivers I would meet. Oh yeah, bro, I make easy $1,100 a week. I'm like, oh yeah, bro, do you have a second of spare time for your own life? No, it's not, can't be proud of making over $1,000 a week if you slave over it. So I would say the average driver probably makes something like 600 a week. I would guess that's at least 30 hours a week. So I'm talking the average driver that's putting in time, not somebody who drives on St. Patty's and New Year's Eve, you know. So we're talking $600 a week. And then they're also saying that there's a stipend you'd get on top of that. Now, I'm not sure what the stipend would be. I haven't seen anything on that, but I've seen a lot of different reports. I've seen some people saying it would be a $200 stipend a week. Some people said $300 to $400. Maybe it depends on if you have kids and your living situation. That I haven't sure, but the $600 a week alone, like that alone makes it worth it. You understand? Like that, I mean, that's really, really a lot more than I thought we would ever get for any kind of relief package. If something, I literally thought we'd get like $200 a week, which honestly, I probably would have been happy with $200 a week. So some other interesting things that happened along that was the Uber CEO did write in on our behalf and implored Trump to, you know, basically look after us. Really, his whole motive there was because he also wrote in a little thing about how we still shouldn't be considered employees, but we need a safety net provided by the federal government and not Uber, which I'm like, another little cop out for Uber. What do you know? Using it to benefit their own agenda. So there's really only a few things you need to prove to get this money. So the biggest thing is you need to be able to prove that you stopped driving because of current conditions and that you are unable to work because of current conditions and where the world's at right now. For most of you, that really probably shouldn't be hard to do because pretty much anybody driving after January, maybe even sooner. I can't remember when we really started first hearing about this thing, but anybody after January who has the pay stubs to show, hey, look, you can clearly see I stopped working here. That's because that was when I took preventative measures for the safety of myself, my health, and my family. So I stopped driving here. And to be honest, like the sooner you stopped driving Uber and Lyft, the better you were, you know, the better chances you had, because like they, you know, I mean, it's one of the riskier jobs during times like this. You're in a closed off car. I mean, you're talking like being in this little space, especially with more than one person. I mean, and you're just breathing the same hot air. It's, you know, you can see how it'd be really, really easy for an Uber Lyft driver picking up people at the airports. There's all kinds of reasons why we're more subject to this. So don't worry even if you haven't given a ride since January, still apply and, you know, just say that's the reason you stopped driving, you know. I do want to say, and I've said this in every video I've done on this topic so far, I do want to say if you really are in a position where you won't ever need this money, please keep in mind there's tons of people that will. There's a lot of drivers that are in really dicey scenarios, and you know, because of that, geez, Amazon Prime guys got like 3 freaking cartloads of stuff. That Amazon delivery stuff is pretty solid right now too. You guys might want to look into that now that I think about it. Actually, I'll look into that and I'll let you guys know if it's worth it. But it really is, like, we really are the most impacted, so don't feel bad about it. But like I said, if you are someone who really doesn't need it, like, don't be taking up all the drivers who do need it, because I have a plethora of people emailing in talking about their problems, and it's really sad. Like, some people are not prepped for this and really have like 1 to 2 weeks of preparation before they don't know what they're going to do. I did want to give some quick advice too, though. Keep in mind that like right now you can't really get evicted. No, you just can't. I mean, evictions are illegal right now. Most utility companies aren't going to charge you if you miss your payments. I know most banks aren't doing overdraft fees right now. So don't fret, because really the worst thing that can happen, the worst thing that can come out of this is you do get backed up on some bills. But here's the reality, guys. If the worst thing that happens is you get it like a few grand behind on bills, That's not the end of the world, because they're going to be offering payment plans. You're going to be getting money coming in the mail from the government. Stuff like that's going to be easier to pay off than you think. And so even if you, worst case scenario, come out of all of it and you've got $2,000 in debt maybe, and then you got to start a payment plan where you put $50 a month towards it, is that really so bad? So don't make this whole thing crazier than it is, because you will get through this and it's really not as bad as you think. But that's what I'm hearing is $500-600 a week along with a stipend. To apply for that, you're basically going to Google your state government along with unemployment insurance benefits, and the very first link should be exactly what you're looking for. So make sure you guys get on that today. It's going to be really helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure you check out Instacart. See you later, guys.